There will be time that we will disagree with them. But it doesn't mean we should take to the street or social media to share our sentiment. I've said that I always feel sad that a student will have to protest or write issues on Facebook or social media whilst we have student leaders. Anytime we do see so, it means we student leaders are not up to task. Because if you are student leaders, we need to be ready to approach. We need to have our members approaching us to get information to the administration, not the other way of going social media. We exist as leaders to find solutions to problems. If there were no problems, we don't need to have student leaders. I believe from the class rep, through the department president, going down to the college president, and coming to the SRC parliament, I believe our information should be able to get to the right people. Gone are the years where people felt they are no leaders. I believe every student leader must sit up from the class rep down to the SRC elected executive. In our time, what we are trying to do is to make sure our non-residential MPs do have reps in all the hostels off campus to report as issues. Also, for the halls who do have lay reps, we believe they'll go in a long way to getting people's grievances brought. But in time that issues are brought, we should not forget that we're not supposed to wash our dirty linens outside. Taking to social media issues may put KNUST in a bad way. This is our school, and this is the school we leave, and one day look back to call us our alma mater. Let's do the best, and let us gather our support. With that, I believe we can make it. Thank you very much. We move on to the minute of emergency sitting that took place a few weeks ago. Honorable members have already gone through the minute. So without any further correction, we ask for a member to move for the acceptance of the minute. Honorable member from College of Science.
Right Honorable Sasu. My name is Honorable Samuel Kweku Inti Sessa. After thoroughly reading through the minutes of our previous sitting, I move that there should be an acceptance of the minutes for us to proceed with today's meeting. Thank you very much.
Seconded by any seconder? Honorable member from Kote.
Mr. Speaker of the House, I second this motion.
Thank you very much. We want to statement, a brief report from various parliamentarians from the constituency. But before that, we'd like to take a short report from Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Derek Nidodu Amu.
Mr. Speaker, the House, I'm grateful to give a report on the House. Moving forward, I would like to say a very big thank you for everyone who showed up today. We are grateful, and then the House appreciates it. This is the 10th Parliamentary Council, and then it's made up of the various presidents and the secretaries of all the halls and the colleges, and then the various MPs of our constituencies, that's the off-campus constituencies, Kote, Aidiase, Kenton Kono, Bomso, and then also campus. And then we also have the president and the secretary of ISA, and then the GRASAC president. These people represent the students' body in the Parliament House, and they make sure all your grievances and then every problem that you encounter is sent forward to the SRC president for addressing. And then I'd like to say a very big thank you to all parliamentarians. They've done a very good job. We have various committees. That's the Business Committee, the Appointments Committee, the Budget and Finance Committee, Privileges Committee, Welfare and Residence, and Academic. Each and every committee has parliamentarians in there that try and make sure that everything that is brought forward to them is worked on. and every grievance we encounter is placed before the SRC president. We would like to say a very big thank you to our Right Honorable Benjamin Kisi Sasu for everything he's done for us. This parliament has been one of the best parliamentary council, and then we are going to make sure we are not going to disappoint the entire student body. We are going to make sure every grievance you put before us is going to be worked on. Moving forward, as the Right Honorable said, if you have any challenge, any grievance, any problem, just make sure you send it forward to your representative in Parliament. It's going to be worked on, and then we promise you we are not going to fail you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Deputy Speaker. We move on to statement from non-residential MPs. We'd like to begin with Honourable Member from Kote constituency.
Mr. Speaker, the House, I bring you greetings from Kote constituency. Thank you very much. Before I begin, I want to say thank you to the House, the SRC, and especially Mr. Speaker for being very proactive and attentive to our issues. I'd like to touch on two main aspects of our governance, that is the transport and the security. Since school resumed on 24th of September this semester, there's been no recorded issue of theft or incidents that threatens the security of Kote constituency as compared to previous years, and we are grateful for that. But nevertheless, we'd be very glad if the watchdog policy, which is a bill which was passed on in this House, be implemented, since it's going to help maintain the security of campus, various of campus, that is ideas, Kote and Bomso. And we know it's going to bring our security as close to security on campus as possible. Mr. Speaker, talking about transport, since the Great Wall was erected, movement in and out of campus has been a bit difficult for the people in Kote, especially the business students, and our grievances has been made known to the administration and the SRC. And from what I know, I'm very glad that quick measures are being put in place to solve this issue. However, I would want to recommend that free shuttle system is extended to my constituency, which I think is an effective way of solving this problem. I'd like to end by saying Kote is a very peaceful place, and we welcome all students. If you want to escape from the problems and the hassle of campus, the noise, I invite you to come and live in Kote. Thank you.
Okay. Proceed to take a report from Honourable Member for campus constituency.
The Speaker of the House, I greet you all. My name is Franklin Kumsineje. I bring a report to the students on campus. It has been a month into the semester, and we've come a long way as a constituency. We face challenges, some of which have been tackled, others still in the windpipe, and others yet to be tackled. Some issues that have been tackled include study rooms at Baby Brunei are now working, or 7 Wi-Fi also is now working, and a serious problem behind Republic Hall and or 7 has also been tackled. Nevertheless, issues in the windpipe include water issues at Baby Brunei and also water issues at Brunei Complex. This situation is as a result of the hostel roofing not being completed, and as a result, polytanks cannot be placed at the right positions for water storage. But I assure you this issue is being tackled. Also, new routers are being fixed at Brunei Complex, Block S and SRC Block C. Though they are not working now, but soon they will start working. Again, hostel price hikes are yet to be tackled by the non-residential committee and the SRC as a whole. My people, as we go through these hard times, let us stand together and keep one another in check to achieve these goals. Yes, we can if we overcome these issues. We'll stand together as one nation. Thank you.
Before we proceed, we'd like to welcome the Vice Dean of KNUST, Vice Dean of Students, Professor Ruth Nejaria. Welcome.
We continue with honorable member from Bomso constituency.
The Speaker of the House, thank you for this privilege. The constituents of Bomso would like to extend their regards to the House and to the SRC. And I also like to take this opportunity to thank the SRC and the House for not just paying lip service to the people, but actually and definitely working for the greater good of for the student populace. Having said this, the people of Bomso would be really happy if the shuttle system is being extended to that end to aid to and fro from lectures and all. And also, we are happy with the deactivation of the Bomso access gate there. We are really happy. And we'll be very happy if the security issues are being tackled to ensure that the people at Bomso are very safe and comfortable. This is what I have from the people of Bomso. Thank you.
The next person is honorable member from IDRC, and we'd like to take this opportunity to congratulate him for being the second Ghana strongest.
Hello.
Yeah, also let's give it to him.
Hello.
Right Honorable the House, I bring you greetings from people from the United States of IEDRC. Okay, the state of my constituency, as I came to meet, has aggravated. At least they can boast of a third-class road before the bridges were being constructed. Now we have a bridge making the roads very inaccessible. And we have a great wall making people from Franco and Flint, their movement to campus very difficult now. So I channeled everything through the SRC president, Master Kelvin Sarr, through Right Honorable Sasu. And they paid me a visit in my constituency, and they witnessed everything. They saw everything with their crow eyes. It was very appalling, very awful, very horrific. Even when it drizzles in IDRC, we find artificial poolsides around hostels. If you are not careful, you either get drowned or you fall in a gutter you don't see. So Master Kelvin Sarr has assured us of a better IDRC. The bridges, as I know, will be completed probably early next month. So we'd have an accessible road. And they said they will have a gate through the Great Hall of KNUST. And my people said if the gate is not made, they will keep breaking the wall till they have a gate. So they are still on it, breaking the walls. And with the transport system, we met the health and safety officers of the SRC, and they've assured us of a very good transport system. And with the security too, we are still facing security issues. People, residents of IEDRC, the people who really live there, the non-students, attacking students, especially the females, with bread knives and all tools from the kitchen, scaring them. So it's very serious. It's funny though, but it's serious. And I've channeled everything to the SRC President, Master Kelvin Sarr, through the speaker. So we are hoping we get a better United States of IEDRC. Thank you very much.
We move on to the last non-residential MP for Kentikrono constituency.
The Speaker of the House, I greet. I would like to express my gratitude and sincere thanks to Master Kelvin Sarr, Right Honorable Sasu Kisi Benjamin, for the good work done so far. Your selfless dedication and commitment to solving issues brought before you is indeed commendable. This year, given the increased admission of freshers, my constituency took in the highest number of freshers compared to other non-residential constituencies. In this light, we are faced with issues of congestion and difficulty with transportation around my constituency, Kentin Krono. Also, route linking Kentin Krono to IDRC lack lightning. And this has given rise to criminal activities. We, over the past weeks, have held a series of discussions and deliberations with university authorities. And the assurance has been given that installation of street lights will begin soon, and the transport system will be improved as soon as possible. A response we really appreciate. Final appreciation goes to the SRC Public Relations Officers, which we worked in close collaboration with in an exercise for Barclays Bank to help secure the first ever ATM machine. Thank you, the House.
We move on to statement from ISA MPs.
Mr. Speaker of the House, greetings from the ISA constituency. I'm Okonkwo Linda Chinaza, the incumbent ISA General Secretary. At my constituency, ISA has been rolled up by the grace of God. And so far, we've been able to promote entrepreneurship initiative, which aid to advertise small-scale and medium-scale enterprises. Then we also plan on working on the reduction for the Brunei hostel fees to at least to reduce the price for international students. Then for the college MPs, we've worked on appointments of college reps with the college MPs to aid with tutorials, especially for the freshers and for the first-year students. Then we had the complaints from the Muslim students about a prayer area in Brunei, which we also advocate for. I met with the Brunei management to work on that.
May you live long, Speaker. My name is Temida Yonokoya, the incumbent ISA President. Greetings to the House, greetings to the Speaker. On issues concerning ISA, we've heard problems from Grasaga ISA, saying that there is inadequate representation of the international students on the Grasaga Senate level. We're having small difficulties with access to funds in order for us to do programs and events for the international students. There's been an issue with water at Kensukono, especially at Gaza, but we've been working on it, and so far the management of Gaza say that they'll be by this coming week or next week, there should be water at Gaza. The Brunei management has also brought complaints of international students smoking in Brunei, and we've been working towards reduction to completely curbing that effect. That's especially when it comes, because of the fact that most of the problems or the complaints are coming from international students. Last week, there was a theft around Brunei, even though it has been reported to the right authorities, and we've been working on seeing how that in and out of itself can be solved. Students have come with other complaints saying that they do not necessarily feel safe around Brunei at night, especially when the security is not as tight as it is during the day. Apart from this, we've actually been having a good semester. Most of the international students, especially first years, are very comfortable with what they've seen so far in KNUST. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I'm on to the hall MPs. I'd like to begin from in this hall.
Mr. Speaker, may you live long. My name is Amudere Kinidodu from the Independence Hall constituency.
And I'm Nancy Adakweyado from Independence Hall constituency.
Greetings from Spartans to the House. From the beginning of the semester, we've had some few challenges. And then the very basic one has been water crisis. I would like to say a very big thank you to the Speaker of the House for coming to our hall to come and check up on us and then also see the state of affairs in the hall, and then which we were able to give him a good report. As of now, the water crisis is a bit stable, and then we are looking forward to get a borehole drilled next week, God willing. And then looking at the annex is too high. It has 8 floors. And then students climbing and then descending, it's a problem. So we requested that the elevators should be fixed. And then reports that we had back from our speaker was 3 halls are going to get their elevators operational, and then the other 3 are going to be fixed along the line. So God willing, by the end of this semester, we are going to get our elevators working in the traditional halls. And then moving on to our achievements, we've been able to renovate our study rooms. The basic purpose for coming to the university is to study. And then I feel the library closes around 10 p.m. in the evening. Students want to go the extra mile. So we felt it was necessary to renovate the study rooms by providing new chairs and then also procuring new air conditions to make it conducive for studies. And then also looking at our washrooms at the annex, they were in a very bad state. We were able to advocate for them to be renovated. And then we are also going to have our first aid boxes installed at the main and the annex side, God willing, next week. And then also we are reinstating the Indie Special Fund to make sure the welfare of students are catered for, whereby we are going to provide needy students in the hall with provisions. Apart from that, Independence Hall can proudly say we are in a comfortable lead. Thank you very much, Charles.
Thank you very much, Deputy Speaker. We want to Republic Hall.
The Speaker of the House, greetings to you all. I'm Jumo Emmanuel, President of the Republic Hall constituency.
And I'm Olga Ajo-Kwashe, Member of Parliament for Republic Hall.
Okay. Republic Hall currently is made up of 1,165 members, which comprises of 496 females and 667 males. In general, we will say the status of the hall is good. From security, sanitation, we can name them. The hall had its orientation on the 26th of August 2018, in which the JCRC was a part of. The JCRC embarked on a visitation to visit all members, to welcome them, and also to interact with them. We have an emergency line, which members of the hall can call in case of any situation. The JCRC have also elected various lane reps to aid us in serving our people. This year's Republic Hall JCRC is also working hard to maintain the hard-earned status of the hall. We are working on repairing the elevator to also help members in their nests to move freely, and also procuring bigger polytanks to also help provide enough water to members of our hall. Our study rooms are also being renovated. With all this said, there are some concerns we've raised, and we will also let the House know. The refuse dump behind Republic Hall Market is in a very bad condition and is very degrading to the image of the hall and KNUST in general. We suggest the dam is relocated to a more isolated area. And also, the last but not least, we would like to raise the concern, which is the removal of the IGF from the JCRC coffers, which we feel is quite unsatisfactory. So we are pleading with the SRC President, the Speaker, to also help work on that for us. With that said, Republic Hall, we will say we are very good to go and we are grateful for all the help we've given so far. Thank you.
We have in our midst Mr. Asamoah from the KNUST Counseling Center. Say you're welcome.
We continue with the statement from Queen's Hall.
Mr. Speaker of the House, I'm Yamo Alavinja, President of Queen's Hall.
My name is Mwakwata Daniel, the General Secretary for Queen Elizabeth II Hall. I bring you greetings from Queen's Hall. That's the only hall named after a human being in KNUST. And then the report of the state of Queen's Hall from the beginning of the semester. The academic year began with the arrival of freshmen on 24th August 2018, as directed by the university authorities. The student population stands at 1,130, with the male population being 679, with a corresponding female population of 451, which excludes pitches. Currently, the state of the hall, one can say, is in its best state. However, it will only be appropriate if I give you the challenges confronting my constituency. Queen Elizabeth II Hall has had its fair share of the water crisis that has confronted the entire university community. However, I will be quick to state that the laudable efforts of the whole administration alongside the JCRC executives has led to the situation being brought under control. We would like to take this opportunity to inform the SRC president not to forget Queen Elizabeth II Hall. That is the only hall named after a human being. When it comes to donations, to manage the water crisis as well, just as he did for Africa Hall. In conclusion, though we've had hard hits with the issue of water crisis, Queen Elizabeth is still striving for the best, just as our motto says. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'd like to move to the University Hall. Honorable member from University Hall.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity. We thank God for how long He has brought us to University Hall in championing the interest of student advocacy. The state of the University Hall has been a very dicey one that I wouldn't really like to really speak a lot about. But for now, we can only boast about a few innovations here and there. By regards to domestic issues and stuff, we would like to leave it in that state. But we hope that very soon the dust settles and then it settles in favor of the students. That's the greater good of the people we represent. And then we hope that in unity, as it's always said, solidarity, we've always pushed in also unity. And we hope that the history of the university will continue to be the best as it seems to be. Thank you very much.
We'll take Unity Hall, MPs from Unity Hall.
Right Speaker, the House. My name is Yusuf Mohammed Nazir, the President from Unity Hall constituency.
And I'm Christian Anderson Itifo, General Secretary, MP Unity Hall constituency. Before my president takes over with his address, I'd like to give a bit of introduction. Actually, members from my constituency are doing very well. And many might be wondering who I'm referring to as my members. And on this platform, I'd like to confirm the rumors that are going by that actually JCR executives have been sidelined with regards to the issues going on right now. But then, my constituency does not only comprise members who are in the hall, there are also continuing students who are affiliated to the hall. And when per interactions we've had with them, they are doing good. So Unity or constituency members are doing good.
Well, I'm honored to be given the opportunity to address this House. It is rather unfortunate that the patriotic executives of Unity Hall chose to stand for the interest of members of their constituencies in an intellectual approach, and instead of being applauded by management for preventing our constituents from going the violent way, we have rather been sidelined, and the hall is being run by inexperienced freshers. With all due respect, we have no reports. With all due respect, we have no report to present, as it says that we have no contact whatsoever with the hall at the moment. I'd like to take this opportunity to commend the SRC, for they are doing really well in other constituencies. But I would like to also take this opportunity to remind the SRC that they are the mouthpiece of all students and not for particular constituencies. So we want to see more from the SRC. Thank you very much.
Move on to Africa Hall. MPs of Africa Hall.
Right Honorable Speaker, members of this noble house, I'm Gifty Afeizuamo, President of Africa Hall constituency.
My name is Priscilla Fusu, the General Secretary. Together, we bring you greetings from the only 7-star Twin Tower Hall in KNUST. In fact, the only hall of men and women of substance.
Mr. Speaker, over the years, Africa Hall is considered the most serene hall of residence amongst the 6 traditional halls, till the recent changes from the university management. Upon the changes of this policy, there are several advantages that comes with them, but it has been quite jittery in the short run. And as we all know, adaptation is not always smooth as expected. And so the university and the hall management are trying their possible best to curtail any eventualities, whereas the JCRC is also finding several means, which includes renovation of the JCR, providing flat screen TV, DSTV, to engage our new gender residents so that we all can enjoy the peace we had before, if not better. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, Africa Hall says thank you to the SRC and the local NUCs of KNUST for their intervention and concern showed about the water crisis. And we hope to see more of that moving forward. We are hopeful for a better Africa Hall. Thank you.
Thank you, Hall MPs. Move on to College MPs. We'll start with College of Science.
Okay. Thank you, Right Honorable. I'm Patricia Do Atajim, General Secretary from the constituency of College of Science.
Right Honorable, my name is Honorable Samuel Kwekwe Sessa, the President of the Science Students Association constituency. Right Honorable, the 2018-2019 academic year began for us as executives in the month of April. After our swearing in, we had to prepare a lot of documents concerning the consolidation of all accounts of colleges and the SRC and NUCs, etc. We continued in our struggle towards the consolidation of accounts until recent times, where the battle could not last that long. Right Honorable, we move on to most of the activities that we started with in our academic year. After the handing over, we realized that most of the worries of our constituencies lies within the welfare and academics. So we started with our main policy during the month of August, which was the true insurance policy, where we aided students with all the needs and wants that they would need to have a successful supplementary exams. We also moved ahead in the same month of August towards September to aid the college board in organizing the orientation for the freshers. This year we had opportunity to get one of the largest number we've been meeting ever since the college was inaugurated some years back. We also continued with the academic policies, which includes outside the classroom, where students were helped with confidence building, capacity building, public speaking, outside the classroom skills, soft skills, and etc. We also continued with one major program, that is the Sci-Talk, where students in science were taught how best they can manage their time, how best they can involve themselves in politics, business, science, development, inventions, and etc. We also engaged ourselves in inviting some students in science who have done extremely well in their field, like the students who invented the one-phase traffic light. at the program and at the end of the program, students from the Science Students Association were very enthused and were motivated to continue their field in science. We'll use this opportunity to invite anybody who wants to defer, change course, to come and read a course in science, because we indeed hold the award. We also continued our programs, and we just recently had the launch of the CISA Champions League. This is a ever-wheating sports championship among the students in the College of Science. They look forward to engage themselves, interdepartmental, socializing, and also be able to have an opportunity to grow their love in sports. We also are very proud and very joyous of the fact that we also helped the SRC in organizing, granting them a venue in organizing the free language classes. And we always open our doors to the SRC that anytime, anywhere that there will be a need, the Science Students Association is always ready to help in pushing the students' cause. We also see that you can all look forward for the face of CISA and the CISA Journal. My secretary and my executives and the entire students in the College of Science are doing very well. We thank you, and God bless us.
We move on to MPs of College of Health Science.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable. Right Honorable the House, my name is Michael Odwetete, President of the College of Health Sciences Students Association, the only college and the first college to produce the female Pro-Vice Chancellor of KNUST. My able secretary will take on from here. Thank you.
Okay. Right Honorable Speaker, may you live long. Mr. Speaker of the House, I'm Ajwa Safoa, MP for Hesa constituency, and I carry greetings from the College of Health Sciences. Although our college is a new one, this batch happens to be the second executive role, and we've had a lot of challenges so far, being the lack of office space for the smooth running of our college activities. Fast forward to our activities so far. On the 6th of July this year, HESA partnered the University of Ghana students, USAG, for health outreach at Sunyani. This was to give back to the surrounding environment, and it was a mega success. And as part of our scheduled programs for 2018-2019 academic year, HESA conducted the second annual health screening and blood donation exercise, which took place at the Royal Parade Grounds, and it was a massive success. Fast forward, other proposed activities for the 2018-2019 academic year include HESA Games, Career Fanfare, and the STEM project. And again, since HESA is a health-oriented college, I would like to grab this opportunity to inform the House that this October happens to be the Pink Month, and we are creating awareness on the breast screening, breast cancer and cervical cancer awareness. And again, I would like to congratulate our up and doing departments and other faculties in the college. They are doing a great work. They are organizing innovative programs. For instance, a department like the Medical Laboratory Sciences conducted a summit where they brought together their freshers, and it was a massive success. Again, Pharmacy also conducted the game night currently, and this really helped in relieving stress among their members. I'd like to end here, and long live Health Sciences, long live KNUST. Thank you.
We move on to College of Humanities and Social Sciences.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable. My name is Kojun Ketia Fidelis. Flanked on my right is the most ravishing secretary of all time,
Betty Gattemold.
Mr. Speaker of the House, we bring you warm greetings from College of Humanities and Social Sciences. Our constituents are very fine. Right after elections, we were actually confronted with the consolidation of accounts, which I think it was a unilateral decision from all college presidents together with all student associations under us. We did our best, but it seemed our best wasn't enough. But we are hoping that this new directive will be in the best interest of students. Going forward, the academic calendar began with the arrival of freshmen. Though, since you are continuing students, you are not allowed to come closer to them. We hope and we saw that the orientation process went very well, even though there were a few hitches about the fact that members of our constituency found it hard to locate their various faculties from the Great Hall. Going forward, we had a health work section, a joint one for that matter, with our lecturers and our senior staff members. The end aim was about the fact that we wanted to bridge that sort of gap between the teachers and the students. Our faculties and departments are doing very well. KSB and Social Sciences Society organized an entrepreneurship summit to inculcate entrepreneurship abilities into the people. We have our members from the law faculty making it to the Ghana School of Law, and also some being called to the bar. We have inaugurated a business idea challenge that seeks to inculcate business potentials in people. And not forgetting about the fact that even before the state of our address, our members from Culture and Tourism entertain our SRC President, Master Kelvin Sir.
Yeah.
Also, notwithstanding, there are issues in our college as well. Much more have been said about the war. And I think I share the same sentiment to my honorable member from Kwabisa constituency, because the Faculty of Arts students and School of Business students are really suffering. They normally come to classes with sweaty armpits. Going forward, we also want to wish the SRC to expedite the process of the 5,000 shares to supplement the chairs we have at the Social Sciences, the CCB block, and that of the Examination Hall complex. Once again, I want to say our constituency is very fine, if not for anything. Warm greetings from the College of Humanities and Social Sciences, the largest college on campus and only pivotal college around which all other colleges in the school revolves around. If not for anything, about the fact that you have the highest number of people in this even house, 10 out of 30, is very laudable. These are very hard times, but I want to assure our people that they have always been a priority. Thank you very much, Right Honorable.
Thank you very much. Move on to College of Engineering.
Right Honorable Benjamin Kisi Sasu, the House. My name is Cecilia Nana Edichumwa Osebonsu, the General Secretary of the Engineering Students Association. Our general achievements consist of projects that we've been able to execute or carry out successfully as college executives. As part of efforts to help students training certain courses prepare for their supplementary exams, the GISA executives arranged for tutorials that was organized from the 23rd July 2018 to the Friday 3rd August 2018. And then the other achievements that we could best describe as projects that were not tied to any executive office, but then rather connected to all engineering students as a whole and other beneficiaries. The joint instrument for first years. We've beaten the price by 15 cedis compared to the previous year, and less endowed students were given free drawing boards. And then we organized free GISA tutorials for first and second years every Saturday. We further on started this board cleaning voluntary exercise, which is organized by the voluntary team every Saturday to help clean all the whiteboards in the college. We've been able to secure more scholarships for needy students that include GMPC and TALO. And then this scholarship seeks to help all needy students in the college from first year to final year to cater for first their fees and then their welfare. We've been able to also introduce PA system for 2 large classrooms in the Petroleum Building and counting. There was an initiative that was launched on the 5th of October 2018, which is called the GISA Skill Training. It is an initiative that proposed to equip engineering students with skills in programming. We specified into MATLAB, in electronics, that's Arduino. And then the last one is computer aid design, Solid Edge. And then lastly was the free GISA course for both second years and third years to promote Black and Wine Friday. One of the challenges we faced as a college was delay in release for funds to the association. And I would like to use this opportunity to thank all departmental executives which aided in the mentorship program scheme for the first years. Long live the Engineering Students Association, long live KNUST, long live the SRC. Thank you.
Honorable members in the House, I'd like to inform you that there's a second chamber right on our left, which also full with students who are also watching whatever is going on. There's a second chamber on our left. Thank you very much. Move on to College of Natural Resources and Agriculture.
Greetings, Mr. Speaker and the House. My name is Israel Emmanuel Ahedo. I happen to be the president for KNUST-TEK.
And I'm Poku Frida, the General Secretary. Okay, I'll just give a brief introduction, then my handsome president will just continue. Okay, so greetings. Okay, so greetings from the most noble, honorable constituency in KNUST. Why am I saying that? Because KNUST, that's College of Agriculture and Natural Resources. We feed not just KNUST people, but the world too. We are more of the backbone. Yeah. Okay, things in College of Agriculture and Natural Resources are going on well. Administration, students are all fine, but just with some few hitches with classroom blocks. Because of large number of students, the classroom blocks are always tight and lectures is quite hectic. And also clashes with some venues with lecture hall due to still the timetable being fixed. With all that, I think members and students of KNUST are doing well. So I'll continue then. My president will continue with it. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker. Okay, just like my secretary said, she's also very beautiful as well, just like my Wukom. I think I can boast of the two most beautiful ladies in administration. That's the Wukom and the secretary. Yeah, sure. And then to commence with business, I think when we assume office, we had challenges as an administration because we were with actually the second administration, and then with the first one, they had a lot of problems. So when we assume office, we have to try to fix those kind of problems. So I think even with our, let me say, even when we were supposed to even be, let me say, handed over to, there were some hitches because of the Senate having issues with the president. They were trying to impeach the president and a whole lot of issues. So as it stands now, KNUST, we are having problems within our constitution, and I want to commend the SRC Legal Affairs Director for taking care of that. Very soon, you have our revised constitution whereby everything will be in order. So, Madam Helena, I'm very much grateful. During the VAC, we had a summer school tutorials, but then our provost couldn't give us funds since it's not allowed for students to use funds to actually do tutorials for other students who tried. But then we had about 300 students who tried their courses. So you just have to just go ahead with the tutorials, and we have to do it from our own pockets actually. And then we did it. And last time I checked, the number of people who actually registered, most of them passed their courses. During the VAC as well, we went on a tour to the ministries. That's Ministry of Agriculture and Natural Resources, Ministry of Food and Agriculture, and then the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, together with the Food and Agriculture Organization. We wanted to do a KNUST talk, where we have personnel coming to educate the students more about agriculture, agribusiness actually. There's this program ongoing, that's the Youth in Agriculture program, and most of the students within our college are not aware of that. And then there's this planting for food a job as well. So we want to have a KNUST talk as well so that the students will be abreast with all these initiatives by the government. Also, when the first years came, over the years, results of students within the college are not that well due to the fact that most of them actually didn't pick the course. Right, I've been a victim myself, where first year you feel like this is not where you are supposed to be, you don't belong here. So that party for the course is not actually there. So you have to enroll on this mentorship scheme whereby first years will be assigned to senior continuing students to actually guide them with how they should go about their studies and stuff. And it's going on right now, and so far it's been good. And then we also have to renovate our office as well since it was a new association. And I think Right Honorable Speaker was there somewhere last 2 weeks to see the office, and he was actually, let me say, impressed with the office. He actually wanted to even come and take over the office as well. we're having a problem right now with regards to the shuttles. I think most at times when they are doing, let me say, these kind of new policies, those of us that are quite away far from where almost all the students are, we are actually exempted. Like our college, because of where we are situated, that's the IDUSC gate. The shuttles, I think the terminal is at the Casleford building over there. That's let me say, the center for it. And then the students within the college don't actually get access to it because you have to come there, then walk all the way to IDUSC gate. It's better you just walk straight up to your faculty. So please, I'm pleading with the SRC. If there's something that could be done about it, where at least the Agri Junction, there's a bus stop over there, just on the left. When you take the left cab heading to Kent Chrono, there's a bus stop over there. If maybe you can, one of the buses at least, it should pass through that side, and then our students can actually alight over there. And then IS Ghana will be having a congress this year, and it will happen here in KNUST. So, Mr. SRC President, I just want to alert you that this year your school will be holding the IS Ghana Congress. And then during the VAC as well, there was a Kwapa debate competition where students from within the college represented the school, and they came back with the trophy. I think we've all said and done. That will be all for now. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We move on to the last college, College of Art and Built Environment.
The Speaker of the House. I'm Honorable Amachiwa Ajekum, Member of Parliament for Kabesa constituency. And on my left is the ever handsome, humble and noble first gentleman of Kabesa.
Thank you.
He goes by the name Honorable Felix Ochoyeboa, and he's the president for Kabesa. He will take over from me. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, my noble secretary. Mr. Speaker of the House, school resumed on the 24th of August 2018 and on the 3rd day of September for continuing students. College of Art and Built Environment is the college that brings out the art, innovation, and dynamism around us into reality. Come to Kabi, and you'll see the planners, architects, publishers, designers, and the like. Well, it's no wonder Kabi is currently the best college on campus KNUST.
Yeah.
The current leadership has started a mentorship program to aid students, especially freshers, in academics. It has also oriented the first years very well. This initiative has been successful so far. Again, there will be a health screening and blood donation exercise this weekend, so as students of Kabi can know their status in health. We would also be giving out free condoms to students to help annihilate STDs in our college. Yeah. Mr. Speaker of the House, the college is currently constructing a 6-story lecture hall and office complex, which is internally funded. This structure, when completed, will enable students adequate lecture rooms and reduce the current situation of limited lecture halls. Mr. Speaker of the House, the college is currently facing some problems and will share with the House. We know these issues would be treated with care and resolved. Mr. Speaker, students in the Art Society face difficulty accessing the free Wi-Fi, which makes it difficult for them to undertake the computer design classes. Again, students in the college complain about the hassle they go through during their practical session due to increasing number of recent admission, facing limited classroom spaces. This is prevalent in the painting and sculpture, UI and industrial arts section. The Speaker of the House, students would appreciate if charges on school buses for field trips could be reduced so as to encourage more academic-oriented trips which are necessary. Students of some Kabi departments added that they encountered some difficulties when it's time to retrieve funds for practicals, which has already been built in the school fees. Mr. Speaker, the House, painting students who use the old Mr. Speaker, the House, painting students who use the old TEK reported the use of their studio rooms by some denominations on campus. Example, Christ Embassy. This prevents them from using their studios to complete assignments. This should be considered with care, since every denomination has a place of worship which shouldn't interfere with soundness of students' academics. Mr. Speaker, the House, thanks for granting me a listening ear. We hope all our problems will be solved in due time. Long live Kabisa, long live SRC, long live the 10th SRC Parliamentary Council, long live KNUST. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, honorable members. And the next is Grassup MP, who is not currently available. You will come in the course of the sitting. Move on to the next item. We're going to take the university item by Gamsukwa. Let's all rise. Thank you very much, Gamsukwa. We have one honorable member representing University Hall in. Would like him to introduce himself.
Good evening, Mr. Speaker. My name is Kataba Tangna Mohammed, exiled president of University Hall, Katanga.
Thank you very much. We move on to public business. The first address will be done by the Pro Vice Chancellor, Professor Richard Dixon. Let's give it up for her as she comes.
President. Okay.
Hello? Okay. So I was wondering why you made it sound so sad. Exile president. You're not. You're not. Honorable Speaker of Parliament, if you would permit me, I'd like to stand on existing protocol and say good evening to the Vice Dean, Professor Jari, our Councillor, Mr. Jau, my sister, colleague, all of you honorable members of Parliament, students, friends of the media. The Vice Chancellor, Professor Kwesi Obridanso, deeply regrets his inability to be here with you during this very important State of the SRC address due to an equally pressing university assignment that he has to see to, and he has delegated me to stand in for him. I hope you take me like that. Thank you. He, however, wants me to wish you all the best in all your deliberations today and this evening. As a university, we are indeed applauding you for setting this time aside to present and deliberate on the state of the SRC. This obviously, to us, would provide a clear picture of where you are and we are as university and as SRC, and where you are moving to as far as the work of the student leadership is concerned. And we are very excited that you could come up with a program like this. I think that you deserve an applaud. What do you think? As you're all aware, and you see visibly at every corner of this university, the Vice Chancellor is doing everything he can, together with the leadership, to make your lives as comfortable as possible. All the infrastructural developments that are going on feverishly are an indication that the university has you absolutely at heart. As much as we practically can, our passion is to make sure your stay here is very, very memorable and worthwhile. Having said that, my dear students, let me be quick to add that the Vice Chancellor wants you all to remain very, very disciplined and to stay focused at all times. I dare say that there is nothing any of us can do or achieve without this key ingredient called discipline. Whether we accept it or not, it is indeed the bridge between the goals and the aspirations that we all hope to get to, and those accomplishments that we like to chalk. As a university, we are bent on ensuring that the products that come out of here are standard bearers, impeccable leaders, irrespective of where they find themselves on the globe. This charge, we promise you, we will, led by the Vice-Chancellor, continue to keep. The security of our students and staff are very dear to us, and we continue to entreat you to keep your security antennae very sharp at all times. Please continue to report all suspicious characters to our security agency for immediate attention. And please, always remember that you are your best security. Let all the students understand that as leaders, that they themselves are their best security. The CCTV cameras installed all over campus are helping a lot to bring these culprits into order. The Vice-Chancellor, in his wisdom, is ensuring that we have more of these cameras everywhere. It takes time, but we will get there. Our little brothers and sisters in the first year are making strides in settling in fine. And as a university, we are relying on you, student leaders, to support the efforts of the university in this regard. My dear students, as you are aware, to whom much is given, much is also expected. And obviously, one good turn definitely deserves another. That is why we will continue to require excellence from you. The touch of excellence among you should continue to shine so bright that the world cannot afford to ignore it. In that case, you can continue to be that beacon of hope and inspiration that infects our world and leave it a better place than you came to meet it. We encourage you, we will continue to encourage you to be more law-abiding. Take your studies seriously, develop yourselves, and cooperate with us at all times as we make sure you continue to have a wonderful stay, an experience that will always stay with you. As we prepare you for the global space, my students, we will continue to encourage you to be innovative and creative in your approaches to problem solving. Apply critical thinking in your studies at all times, and please do not be afraid to dream big. In fact, dream as big as the ocean. We want you to understand that we have a job because of you. Without you, we are jobless, and our early morning preparation to come to work will be in vain. Therefore, as leadership of the university, as administration, we are with you, and we will do everything we can to support you. Please, we will entreat you to continue to dialogue with us, and we will continue to also include you in all our discussions as we seek to find solutions to all the problems that you have as students. Always feel free to think through issues with us, and please do not hesitate to share your frustrations and fears with us, should you have any. And I really doubt if you have a lot of them. We entreat you to continue to work collaboratively with leadership so that at the end of it all, we are all happy for it. I sat there quietly listening to various members of this honorable house talking on behalf of their constituencies. I applaud you because that's what leadership is about. You listen to the people and then you project the difficulties that they have. And let me reassure you on behalf of the Vice Chancellor that we are thinking about you. Your welfare is paramount to us as students. Let me quickly touch on a few of the things that came up during your presentations on behalf of your constituencies. And I'd like to start with the water crisis. I'm not sure if you're aware of what led us to that, but there was an accident on the Oforikrom main stretch, which led to this whole water and sewage challenge, which has trickled down to the university. The Vice Chancellor quickly intervened and worked closely with the maintenance department to be supplying water to the university. I know when it happens like this, maybe some of you probably have suffered, so you are still talking about water crisis. But let me assure you that it is costing, we are still supplying the water, and it is costing the university so much. In fact, to the point that a suggestion came up last week that VC, we are actually pumping money into this. But the Vice Chancellor said, yes, we will continue to pump money into it because water is life. And the students and staff need to have water. Please, if you're still suffering, we have heard you. And we will continue to enhance the delivery and make sure that you get water. That is what I would like to say on the water crisis. Having said that, I would also want to add that the crisis has also opened the eyes of leadership to the fact that apart from all the wells that we have dug already, we need to actually continue to dig more. So leadership will do that and ensure that water is easily available. Lifts to the traditional halls. As we speak, honorable members, during one of the presentations, I thought I heard by the end of the semester, I want to stick my neck out and say that it wouldn't get that far. Hopefully, before the end of the semester, the lifts should be working. I thought that you would applaud the Vice Chancellor. Transportation, I heard you. Kote, new site, is it Kentim Chrono? Kentim Chrono. We heard you. Let me report to you, Honorable Speaker. You were there at the last Welfare Services Board meeting on Wednesday, and the Vice Chancellor is very keen in ensuring that all these places are rooted. The challenge that we have faced as administration is the traffic. So what we are thinking of doing is to reroute these places. And sooner or later, we have a very competent professor who is in charge of this, and we assure you that we will see the end of this challenge. So just keep up and do a bit of exercise. Walk, because exercise is good. Let me also quickly touch on the bridge. We know it's causing inconveniences to you. But you know, once we get it done, then the problem is solved forever. So we entreat you. Again, exercise. It helps. Google effect of exercise on retention memory. And you will appreciate what I'm saying. So please, we are thinking about that, and work is ongoing, and it will be done. What is the next thing? Lightning. It is a very, very important thing to the Vice Chancellor. And as we speak, just last week, he has given authorization for 100 more lights to be sent to this university. So there will be light, because the Vice Chancellor has said, let there be light. So you will have the lights. Just be patient a bit, and we'll come through this. I want to also add my voice and indeed encourage the colleges that I heard reporting about peer mentoring schemes for students. I think it's a good thing you're doing, and I want to challenge the other colleges to also introduce this kind of exercise. Faculty of Pharmacy introduced it, and it helped. So I encourage the other colleges to do likewise, as has been reported to us. Having said that, let me encourage you, students, that every problem, every challenge can always be solved when people decide to take to dialogue. Breaking of whatever doesn't solve problems. Breaking or causing mayhem will not give us any solutions. But once we are willing to stand or sit, either we want to walk and talk or sit and talk, whichever we decide to do, we would definitely be able to find solutions to our problems. So let's continue to dialogue. And when we do that, we will all find solutions and we will be happy for it. The Dean of Students, the Vice Dean, everybody, all leadership, we are with you. Please feel free to approach us. Let's all put our ideas together and find solutions to all the problems that we have. Once again, on behalf of the Vice Chancellor, Professor Kwesi Obridanso, we wish this Parliament, through the Honorable Speaker of Parliament, a successful time and a successful evening. Thank you so much for your kind audience. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pope and Vice Chancellor. We move on to the next item, addressed by the Vice Dean of Students, Professor Wilson Ejari. Let's give it up for him.
Good evening. Right Honorable Speaker, Madam Pro Vice Chancellor, Professor Mrs. Rita Dixon, SRC President, Councillor Mr. Joe, Registrar, honorable members of this august House. I think it's a great honor always to have interaction with our dear students. Because without students, the Dean of Students is not going to be available. We need the Dean of Students can only be available or can be in place when we have students. There has been a number of issues, but before I move on, in Akan, we have a proverb which says, when the elders take their bath, it means the water is finished. And once our Pro-Vice Chancellor has spoken, I believe she has spoken all. And therefore, there is no need for me to speak. If she gives me the permission, then I can say a few words, Madam. Thank you very much. I also bring you greetings from the Dean of Students, your Honorable Professor Gariba. I know you would have loved to have him here, but unfortunately, the nation also demands that he also work. He's on a national assignment, looking at technical universities in the country, doing some assessment for them. And therefore, I'm here to speak on his behalf. A number of issues have been raised, and I will touch on a few. Most of them, our Pro-Vice Chancellor has spoken on them already. the key issue is you are here as a student, and a student, your main goal or purpose is to do academic work. So it's academic, academic, academic. But how do you get the academics done when there is indiscipline? When there is indiscipline, there is a lot of issues we need to address. Students taking advantage of colleague students. There are a number of them which comes to our notice. Usually, some of them, I will list a few, such as purchases on the internet. Somebody will post, oh, I can buy a phone for you on the net. The person takes the money, and then the phone does not come, or if it's a laptop, it does not come. But getting the money back becomes a difficulty, and it has to take the dean of students to retrieve such money. Those are criminal activities which should not be encouraged. That aside, some also try to borrow monies and do not want to pay back. If you are a student and you are hard up at a point in time and you approach your colleague that I need a couple of CDs, when the time comes, you should be able to return it to the rightful owner. What is also coming up is the issue of some also having fronting for this sort of Ponzi sort of schemes. They tell you it's a business investment. I'm telling you all this so that you can also advise your constituents. They tell you it's a business investment. Can you join? You join the scheme, and then you realize it's not a straightforward business investment. You rather have to go out because you have invested. They give you some materials worth of the amount you've invested, and then you have, as a student, have to go around and sell this before you can get your money back. So more or less, they are forcing you into a trading business. If you want your money back, it becomes a tussle. So all these sort of things are going on, and it's up to you to also advise your colleague student. Most often, we channel some of these information through our bulk messages, but students have decided when a message is coming and from the dean of students, it thinks Professor Gariba is going to tell them something they are not interested in, and then before they even look at it, delete. You see students coming to the office asking about scholarships schemes. Meanwhile, these are issues we've already put sent as bulk messages. They will not even read. Just last week, people were coming, but a few days before, we've sent messages on the same issue. So tell them, those who need scholarships, those who are hard up, the schemes are there. On the net, if you go to the appropriate site, you will get directions. If we send you messages, please, you read. If you read halfway and you think it is useless, then you can delete it. At least you know what it is. So most importantly, you have to know what is going on around you. We are also aware that currently there are a number of concerns in terms of security and other issues off campus. We are working with the appropriate agencies, the security units, the police, and working out ways to address this. We know with the size of the university, with more than 3/4 staying outside campus, these challenges are bound to happen. But we are on top of events because we follow and we know what is going on outside campus. And therefore, we are interacting with the police, we are interacting with the security on campus to help us address some of these concerns. But you can also talk to your colleague students. If it is late, avoid walking alone. If it is late, avoid using shortcuts. You can always learn in a team. Don't say I'm going to sit at the library and then at around 10 o'clock because we are getting close to mid-semester. And then you'll be walking through some awkward routes to your hostel. You may have challenges. Also, avoid talking to people you are not too familiar. Somebody comes close to you and he wants to interact with you. You don't know the person. The person says, give me your phone. You've given the phone. Go and bring your laptop. You hire a car, go with the person to your room and bring the laptop. And now you come back to the dean to try and find these materials for you. It's at times very challenging. In some cases, we work with the security, we are able to track down some of these, but it's not always possible. There are instances this semester we had a lot of challenges with students fronting to provide accommodation. Tell your colleagues, no student has accommodation around. No student has built a hostel or the SRC. There are laid down policies. If you want accommodation at Brunei or SRC, you have to apply. If you want accommodation at a hostel, you have to go there and make sure you have the appropriate authorities and you pay appropriately to them. If you are not sure of the credibility of the hostel, please come. We will confirm that for you. But you give the money to your colleague, then you have no place to sleep. Meanwhile, he is already sleeping and snoring on his bed. And then it becomes a challenge to the dean of students to help you resolve this. It's also very good when it comes to this peer mentoring system. But let me caution you, there are also some problems we've also encountered. In some cases, the people who are to mentor the others force themselves on them. So if that is what you are going to practice, then please stay out of it. Because people are just using it to get closer to the opposite sex and then do things which are not agreed upon by the two. If you want to mentor, then mentor well. Also, I think my Pro-Vice Chancellor has already touched on the transport issues. It's being seriously addressed. Just last week, it came up at the Welfare Services Board meeting, and it's seriously being addressed. Kentin Chrono is going to be on board. Anglican Hostel is going to be, Kote is going to be on board. So we are looking at it. It's a new initiative, and it's bound to have challenges. But my dear students, avoid the thinking that it's going to be like trotro, where you say, please stop, then it stops. This is a bus system. If you go everywhere in developed countries, when they say a bus, it has stops. And we do not put stops at 50 meters intervals. The minimum is 500 meters. So if it stops at, let's say, the ideal area, and you want another stop just in front of a Greek auditorium, it's virtually asking for the impossible. Because of the numbers, some of these things could be placed, but we could not have it in all the places as you are demanding. In some cases, you have to walk the minimum distance as required. And walking, as our health personnel tells us, is very good. That's why at times you see me walking around whilst my car is parked. Just last week, I met the honorable president of a university hall, and he was wondering why I was walking around. I was exercising and at the same time doing my work. You see. And excuse me, the issue of also consolidating your funds is in your best interest. In order not to pay so much on each account. And we are also trying our best to streamline the system in such a way that there wouldn't be so many bureaucratic hurdles. For instance, in the previous times, if you are a departmental society and you request for money, you have to move from your department to the faculty to the college. We understand that. But now, if you do it at the department, it just comes straight to the dean of students. You bypass those other steps. And at the dean of student office, It's not to assess whether to give you or not to give you. The only thing we need to know is that you have money. Once you have money, and it has been agreed upon by your respective societies, you have it. So we will cut most of the bureaucratic steps to make sure the process is as smooth as possible. You have money as and when you need. I think these are some of the few issues which I have to talk about. And with this, I wish you a very good evening and a successful deliberation.
Thank you very much, Vice Dean of Students.
We would like to acknowledge the presence of Mrs. Gladys Ade. She's representing the Dean of the International Programs Office. You're welcome, Madam. We also have in our midst Right Honorable David Dari. He was the Speaker of the 9th SRC Parliamentary Council. We also have the former SRC President, Master David Dana. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. The next item will be a performance by the cultural troupe. Thank you very much. Let's give up for them for a nice performance. Now we also move to the item that all of us are waiting for. That is an address by the SRC president. Would like to rise as he moves to the podium. Thank you very much.
Respectfully, kindly resume your seat.
Thank you very much.
I didn't see us give it up for the cultural troupe. That was a wonderful performance. Oh, I think we can do more. Didn't you enjoy it? Pro Vice Chancellor, our Vice Dean of Students, our Counselor, our Madam IPO Secretary, Mr. Speaker, Right Honorable Benjamin Kisi Sasu, Chief Justice Samuel Penaman, my Vice President, elected executives, all appointed executives present, honorable members seated here, the media, ladies and gentlemen. I would like us to take this opportunity to observe a minute's silence for the 3 students we lost during the vacation, 2 of whom died in Germany, and 1 whom we lost last month in the SRC hostel. May their souls rest in perfect peace. It's a very great honor to stand before you here this evening to deliver the State of the SRC address. Now, this is a very much anticipated day. This is a very interesting time in history to be SRC president, where there's a lot of supposed turmoil and students feel the SRC is not exactly as they might presume it to be. Others might also feel the SRC is up to their expectation. So this is an avenue for us to have a discourse, to understand exactly what is going on, and to get to the explanations of what people have been waiting long to hear. First and foremost, I would like to thank the Right Honorable Speaker of the House for such a very wonderful event he has put. I must say, in my 4 years of staying in KNUST, this is the best State of SRC performance so far. Kamsu Kwa, you've been amazing. We had very, very good melodies from you. Thank you very much. The University Cadet Corps for your parade and the cultural troupe. We appreciate all your efforts in making this day a success. The experience so far has been one with a lot of challenges. The road hasn't been smooth. We've been faced with a lot of challenges as a lot of decisions were taken. A lot of policies have been ruled out during our tenure of office. But all the same, I would like to thank all the students for how far they've come with us, especially those of them who still have trust in us. There have been a few people who have said that the SRC has not been up to their expectation. But I'm sure after delivering my speech, students of KNUST will get to understand from the genesis to the end of how things have been and the efforts the SRC has made to ensure that the average KNUST student is having a comfortable life. Our phases in administration was very much heated as we came to inherit a policy of our main predominant halls, Unity Hall, University Hall, being converted to mixed halls. Now, this policy didn't go down well with a lot of students, as students agitated in so many ways to air their grievances for a change to be made. As an SRC duly elected to represent the interests of all students, and especially myself being a Katangi, the onus on me was very, very great to ensure that the policy didn't take place. Our students felt that was not what they wanted. But what did we do when we came into office? After having arrived in office, as right leaders, we didn't just put the blame on the previous administration who were actually present during the implementation of the policy, but we went straight into action by having discourse with the stakeholders involved. That's the University Hall executives, and Unity Hall executives. We had meetings with the Speaker of Parliament also being a mediator. We met up with the Dean of Students, the Vice Chancellor, and explained and gave all our reasons as to why students felt they didn't want that policy to take place. Negotiations went on, but the decision could not be changed. It eventually ended up in court, where both halls sued the university for the policy. To the rather unfortunate side of these two halls, the decision had to come as the court passed and ruled out the injunction. And so the two halls were converted to mixed halls. This further brought a lot of agitation from students with demonstrations and a lot of uproar on social media. All through this process, the SRC still didn't remain adamant. We gathered our arsenals, we met up with the various stakeholders of these two halls, and we began another level of negotiation, but still to no avail. We then petitioned the Vice Chancellor, the Chancellor of the University, and the President of the nation in hope that the grievances of students and their voice will be heard. But to date, our efforts haven't really proved much profitable to the students, as they will claim the decision still held. But all the same, as an SRC being elected to represent students, it was still our duty to protect both males and females who were in the halls. Many called on us to boycott our duty of welcoming the students when they arrived in school. But as leadership has it, you cannot always have a comfortable situation. Although it was not in our interest, we still had to represent both males and females because they are all now part of the SRC. And so we did that, and we ensured that through the welfare and the volunteering team, with the support of all parliamentarians, we were able to get the first years to settle very well in the halls. The matter is still in court, and we are hoping that the voices of students and what they want to happen will happen. But if that doesn't change, we are still entreating that all students remain calm and respect the decision that will be made. And we shouldn't go out there and do things that people wouldn't expect leaders or students who are disciplined to do. On the issues of fees, students were complaining a lot about the fees increment. It is very evident that for 2 years, there have been attempts to increase fees, but it was not possible. Because in as much as the school had to run, based on the inflation rate always going high, students were also going through a lot of grievances and problems. And so the SRC had to still put in our voices to ensure that we fought for everyone so that every single average student can be able to pay their fees and still stay in school. We managed to have this course with all SRC presidents across the country. We met up with the Minister of Education. A lot of negotiations went on. And as it stands now, the bill is before Parliament. And so the old fees we paid in 2016 still remains. Now to student activists. It's been 5 months since we've been in office. We keep hearing a lot of people complaining about how the SRC is not being up to task. Student activists have a lot of good ideas. They keep us on our feet, keep us on our toes, with the various criticisms on every page you go to. This I would like to commend them for. But I would like to say that criticisms on social media are not going to solve the problems. The official mouthpiece of all students is the SRC. We appreciate all your criticisms. We appreciate all your efforts in trying to voice out the challenges of students. But it wouldn't be a bad idea at all if all activists come together with their various problems, address them to the SRC, because the SRC has the open door with administration for dialogue as to implementing policies in the interest of students. So we are hoping that moving forward, student activists would include to their duties having dialogue with the SRC so that together we can all push the interests of students and ensure that there's a comfortable environment for academic development. To extracurricular activities achievements, the KNUST Debate Society for the fourth year in a row came first and won the National Debate Tournament. Inactus KNUST for the second year in a row came first, the National Inactus Competition. And our student from Agric Engineering came first in Kwapa Cocoa competition. I think they deserve accolades. Consolidation of accounts. This is one thing that keeps most of our parliamentarians not smiling. During the vacation, we had the opportunity to be in a meeting at the Ministry of Finance, and it was made clear to us there that conformance to national policy, all institutions are supposed to have centralized accounts for effective monitoring of funds. And so to that effect, even the university has all its accounts consolidated, and that had to end up affecting all students' associations. A meeting was held on Thursday with all the stakeholders to explain to them how the policy would run, and I think it's sinking well, isn't it? The refuse dump at Republic Hall. This brought a lot of agitation as well on social media. Our students felt it wasn't right to have a refuse dump in the middle of campus. We had meetings with the stakeholders in charge, the constituencies in charge, and the Republic Hall master. The university is then making plans to start up a recycling plant, which will go a long way to reduce waste on campus and then to put them to effective use. Lighting off campus, I'm very glad our Vice Chancellor addressed it. We've been on our toes, and the Vice Chancellor finally is working on ensuring that every single corner on campus and off campus will be well lit to reduce crime rate and ensure that security for everyone is well curtailed. Wi-Fi instability on campus. Students have complained a lot, especially students in SRC hostel, Hall 7 and Brunei, mainly complex Block S and Block T. As your campus MP rightly said, the UITS have procured all the items and work is going on. And hopefully, by the end of the month or mid-month, we'll have Wi-Fi stability all across campus because students have paid and hence must benefit from it. Hostel prices. Complaints have reached us that the hostel prices have hiked so much, and this has led to a lot of students not being able to pay all their prices, their hostel fees in due time. Some of them had to even go to the extent of being removed from their hostel. Some students came to the SRC, and together with the Dean of Students, a lot of students have been accommodated in the SRC for free. I think this is one thing we should acknowledge the Dean of Students' office for. International students, they have been for long been crying about how their hostel prices vary so high from that of the Ghanaian students. Together with the president of ISC, I scheduled a meeting with the Vice Chancellor. The Vice Chancellor has asked us to put it in writing, and plans are being made as well to make sure that something is done about that. And so I can assure you that before the academic year will end, we'll experience a change in the pricing of hostel fees for international students. Water crisis, an issue that has been coming up for a very long time now. Most halls have been affected. University staff have even been affected. But as our Vice Chancellor rightly said, efforts have been made to ensure that this problem doesn't persist for long. Information going around has also been that some executives of the SRC have been relieved of their position. Now, this is true because as a student's governance, in as much as we are there to represent and fight for student interests, we are supposed to also be the pace setters with respect to discipline and conduct. Some executives misconducted themselves and breached the code of conduct of the SRC Constitution and hence had to be relieved of their position. Now, this is to firmly state that as an SRC, we are committed to implementing policies and ensuring that there's discipline at every point in time. And so we do not condone to any form of misconduct. And so at any point in time where anyone falls short of the law, the person must face the law. On academics, we are pleased to announce to everyone that our trail support scheme kick-started during this vacation. It was rather painful to see a lot of students having to travel all the way from their homes to campus to spend time for registration, learning, and then rewriting their programs. At the academic board, the SRC brought it up that there should be a semester 3 created in our portals, such that students can stay in the comfort of their homes and do their online registration for their trail courses. They will do the payment and everything at home. They only just have to come to school when it's due for them to write their papers and then go back home to enjoy their vacation. As the popular adage goes, students have to enjoy their vacation as well. Under academics, we are pleased to announce that our free language classes has registered over 300 students and are being taught in 2 main languages, that is French and Chinese. Now, from the French instructor, he asked me to tell you all, je vous souhaite un bon dimanche, which simply means have a lovely Sunday. So as many of you who are still interested in applying for our French and Chinese programs, please do so. For by the time you be leaving KNUST, I'm sure you wouldn't forget what the SRC would have done for you. It is our sole aim to ensure that after your 4 years of stay in KNUST, you can still look back on that skill you've grasped and say, I got this as a result of the KNUST SRC. Special thanks go to the constituency executives from the College of Science for having given us classrooms to have this policy running. Thank you very much. During the vacation, we did a lot of research on how certain advanced universities have been progressing. KNUST, the citadel of excellence, does not compare itself to only local institutions, but international institutions, the likes of Harvard, Oxford, Massachusetts. And so on their plans and calendars, we realized that they have a lot of soft skills being inculcated in their program. And so it was an agenda we pushed on the academic board to ensure that critical thinking, logical reasoning, and ethics be inculcated in our program, although non-scoring, to ensure that KNUST students are not only being prepared to face the job market with respect to academics, but also when it comes to soft skills, we will beat everyone, even those on the international front. I thought you snapped to that. And so for those in first year and final year, should you see any program like ethics, critical thinking, and logical reasoning as an addition to your curriculum, please don't be sad. It's a good thing in disguise. Under capacity building, our skills fair has begun registration. During our campaign, we said enough was enough. And indeed, enough is enough. Enough is enough to KNUST students exiting KNUST and still having to go through struggle of battling with students from Legon and UCC. As I stated earlier, our competitors are those beyond. And so the skills fair is meant to go a long way to add value to students' life. After our 4-year stay here, the KNUST SRC doesn't want you to go with only a degree, but we want you to also go with a skill. And so because of that, the 11 courses have been selected for students to register as a skill. Each student has a limit of 2 courses. The courses are soap balloon making, soap making, yogurt, which has 67 people registered so far. Soap making has 41. Soap balloon making has 68. Hairstyling, pedicure, and manicure, which has about 100 people registered. Makeup has 204. Graphic designing, 257. Videography has about 83. Photography has 133. Web designing has 187. App designing, 257. Coding, 223. And AutoCAD, 134. Indeed, enough is enough. The SRC is going to be running this program from next Saturday, 13th October, till the end of November. So all students who have still not registered should take advantage of this opportunity. Select 2 of these courses, commit yourself, attend the classes, and grasp the skill. So by the time you are leaving KNUST, even if there's no job as people claim, create yourself a job. This is what the SRC stands for. Under capacity building again, we feel the need to equip our students with entrepreneurship skills. And so under TEK, we had our goods market, which happened on the 28th of September, and was so successful. It was an avenue to empower young entrepreneurs to showcase their products and have the chance to expand their market base. So tents were set up at the parade grounds and Republic Hall and lasted for 2 days. Student entrepreneurs were given the opportunity to showcase their businesses, and we gave them the opportunity to market and make a lot of money for their startups. After this, the startup school will kickstart. So after having given students the opportunity to set up themselves as entrepreneurs, The startup school will enroll all these students who have started businesses and to be giving them an opportunity to nurture their business ideas. In collaboration with Smith Tips Company Limited, we are going to be having a lot of lectures for such students, directions on how they can manage their businesses to become very big businesses. Because as we speak now, the next Bill Gates is in KNUST, the next Dangote is in KNUST, and the next Alibaba is in KNUST. Career fair. The KNUST SRC wants to make students linked to industry, just as in the College of Engineering, where every second semester we have a host of companies coming to campus to interact with students. In the second semester, the internship coordinating section of the SRC, together with the programs department, we're having a career fair across all 6 colleges. This will be a 2-day program. The career fair is going to run such that under every single college, a host of companies will be brought to campus with the aid of their various provosts. Companies will be given the opportunity to market to students their products, their services, what they expect of the graduates, how graduates can fit into the job market, and what exactly industry requires of students. Students will always say that after 4 years of stay here, job finding is difficult. But I choose to differ. If we distinguish ourselves very well, the jobs will look for us. So the career fair is going to go a long way to make sure that all students are linked to industry. We urge all parliamentarians to take this message down to students and ensure that students participate in this program, because it will go a long way to help them. Under health, NHIS registration is scheduled to take place for 4 good weeks, starting from the gas hostels, where registration will begin from 8 October to 12 October 2018. The second week, Destiny Hall, from 15th to 19th October 2018. The third week, 22nd to 26th October 2018 at gas hostels. And the fourth week, 29th to 2nd November 2018 at the Engineering Gate. We are pleased to announce to all students that after a long break of suffering from students at the Konfanochi Teaching Hospital, we are pleased to announce to all students that free healthcare has now started for all students at Konfanochi. Just as we students here have free healthcare at the student clinic and the KNUST Hospital, we have been able to initiate this policy. And so all friends we have at the Konfanochi will have to pay no fee to be given healthcare. We are also pleased to announce that the student clinic operates electronically now. Students have complained of a lot of bureaucratic processes they have to go through before being given healthcare. And this goes a long way to put their lives on the line. And so from now going, any student who goes to the student clinic does not need to go through any bureaucratic processes. All our databases are online on the system. They are being processed, and they get to the doctor on the system before we see them. This will go a long way to ensure that our healthcare is being enhanced. Special thanks goes to our Women's Commissioner as well, Mrs. Comfort Ampedu, for having helped us secure sponsorships from various companies to provide first aid box in all the halls. There have been so many events where students will have just little medical issues, but will have to be rushed all the way to the hospital. So the first aid box will serve as a first aid center for any issue that will come up in the interim until it gets to the hospital. Under welfare, as I stated earlier, all executives contributed to ensuring that the freshman arrival was very peaceful. And I thank you all for that. We had our freshman orientation. This was an opportunity for us to speak to the first years on how best they can be able to prepare for the semester, on how they can balance their academics with their social lives, with the extracurricular activities, and how they should equip themselves to ensure that they are always secured at every point in time. This program hosted a dignitary from Data Bank who spoke to students about how from first year they can inculcate the habit of saving, such that by the time they will leave school, they wouldn't go around complaining about how hard the economy is, but then they will smile to how the economy will say they are hard withstanding it. Already addressed, fixing of elevators. We have already been assured by our maintenance department, and in due time, all the elevators will be running in the halls. construction of bridge at Ayeduase. An entourage of the SRC visited the Member of Parliament for the Ayeduase constituency to inspect the state of the Ayeduase bridge and the wall. We made a report of how the incident was appalling, and this facilitated the steps of how fast the project will be completed. The contractor has assured us that by the end of November, the bridge should be completed, and an access control gate would also be fixed and constructed at the KSB wall linking to College of Arts. 5,000 desks also to be procured to help facilitate classes and to remove the difficulty of students having to stand during lecture times. So this will also go a long way to ensure that student welfare is enhanced. Under sports, students have had to go through a lot of struggle, especially financially, when it hits our accounts very hard, as we pay a lot of amounts for our own facility, Pajo Stadium. I'm pleased to announce that after several negotiations with the Vice Chancellor, Pajo Stadium is now free for all student activities. The SRC organized a freshman health walk, and there was a lot of participation from members of parliament and students. As our Pro-Vice Chancellor said, exercise is very good. The SRC is also exercising. Freshman inter-hall games also took place. This was an opportunity for most of the halls to also get together and network. KNUST's strongest registration is also ongoing, especially as the nation's first runner-up for the Ghana's strongest competition is a member of our parliament. A meeting was held with all sports chairmen across the students' associations to plan on how we can inculcate sports into our various programs, not forgetting that our well-being is very important, and so we must take sports very seriously. The SRC is also making plans to organize a leadership games, where we'll have the leadership of the Parliament, the Judicial Commission, and the SRC. So most of you will even meet us there in our booths as we'll be playing and scoring a lot of goals. Please be there should you hear of it. Under entertainment, students are already saying that it seems this administration is very, very much interested in how lively their Friday nights are. As I keep to say, together with my PRO, Friday nights are meant for distressing. And so at the end of every month, the SRC plans to have a live band session. Last week, the Vice Chancellor, together with the SRC, sponsored the first live band event. And a lot of students came there to distress. This is not to replace morale in any way, but it's also to complement morale, because we believe very well that as many as we are, some of us fit into the morale session. Some of us also have a lot of fun under the live band and jams. Just on Friday, we had our second entertainment event, jams. The place was so populated, and there was free Indomie given to everyone. Students were very happy. And there's many more to come. Under safety and security, we are pleased to also announce that the KNUST Security Services has increased its number of personnel, and this is aimed at protecting students. Off-campus security patrols has begun, as our SRC Security Commission, together with the University Security Services, have been in negotiations and have been on the run to ensure that, together with the District Police Command, security will be well enhanced on campus and off-campus. We are pleased that 100 solar-powered street lights are to be installed at vantage points on campus and off-campus to increase lighting. We also are happy that CCTV cameras are to be installed at vantage points to ensure that there is always a record to be taken anytime any issue has gone on with respect to criminal issues. Random verification of ID cards at certain odd hours will also be going on to ensure that students are always secured. Under transport, off-campus shuttles have been extended to Bomso and part of Ahinsan. We are pleased to announce that the number of buses running have been increased, and plans are also being made to increase them. As it stands now, about 28 buses are running 3 different routes. We we must commend the university for such an act. Plans are being made to also accommodate new routes to Ayediase and Kote. The shuttle operation has also been extended to Saturdays. This is in a view that students who still want to troop to their colleges can also have a means of transport even on weekends, and this will go a long way to help them. The Camp Ride app has been successfully installed on Play Store, and so all students can be able to download this app to assess wherever the buses are at in real time, so as to prevent queuing so much at the various bus stops. Students can stay in the comfort of their rooms, monitor the app. When it's a minute to their bus arriving at their closest bus stop, they then come down comfortably to join. A lot of issues have been going on. Students are happy with our SRCs. Some students are also saying the SRC hasn't been so effective. But there's one caution we would like to give to all students, that at every point in time, the leadership wouldn't want to boast about achievements, because certain achievements are our duties. If the SRC truly is concerned about you, then the SRC will go a long way to organize orientation to equip students with the requisite skills to go on throughout the semester. If the SRC indeed wasn't useful, there will be no goods market that will support student entrepreneurs. I'm pleased to announce that for the first time ever, the KNUST-TEK SRC will be hosting His Excellency Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings, the former President of the Republic of Ghana, Honorable Benjamin Kumbuo, and Ms. Nana Abba Anamwa at the first Tech Talk event scheduled to take place on Saturday, 13th October on KNUST campus. We urge all students, especially parliamentarians, to be ambassadors of this program, as the theme for this program is Inspiring the Youth for Nation Building. We have invited our father, our former president, to speak to us, the next generation's leaders, on how we should prepare to support the nation's building plan, on how we should equip ourselves with academics, with our welfare plans, with our industrial entrepreneurship plans, and all that there is and needed to ensure that we support the nation in achieving the task of making it very self-reliant and dominating on the globe. Motivational Library would start up very soon. Our students will have the opportunity to go there, not only to read academic books, but also to read books on spiritual lifestyle, to read books on entertainment, to read books on business, to read books on the host of various genres that we have. So very soon, when you get to the library, it wouldn't be only to study on academic basis, but also to still add value to your lives. This tells you how indeed this SRC believes enough is enough. It's time for us to stand out. The free language classes wouldn't have happened if we didn't believe enough is enough and that we needed extra skills to stand out there in the market. The skills fair wouldn't have been the thing to write home about if the Kelvin Salad administration wasn't in governance. The rehabilitation of parade grounds is one thing we will not look away from, as we believe it's our duty to contribute to ensuring that our parade grounds is in a very good state. So plans are being made to rehabilitate the place to make it more convenient for students. The startup school is also one thing that we are really much interested in starting. The NHIS registration cannot be left out. The Start It Right program was held by a Women's Commission to speak to women on how they can prepare themselves for life on campus and even life afterwards. Live bands has been brought to distress students. Friday Night Jam is brought to entertain students. The essay competition will be brought very soon for students to be able to put their writing skills to task, to be able to put out there what they believe intellectually can contribute to solving problems in KNUST and making KNUST a very good place. We felt enough is enough. And so we have contributed a huge quota of our SRC dues as well to ensure enough campus security. The People Assembly will not be left out. As an SRC that believes in making sure the average voice of the KNUST student is heard, we are going to be having a People Assembly run, such that from time to time, we visit every constituency to meet up the executives there. First, on our schedule, next week, we are visiting the Indies Hall constituency, where we'll meet up with the various lane reps, the hall president and his appointees, to serve as an opportunity for them to lay out all their problems to the SRC, so the SRC can effectively fight for their interest. College of Science will also be next, where we'll meet all various class reps, department presidents, all students interested in having an opportunity to speak to the SRC so we can get their views. This is indeed a grassroots SRC, opening up to hear the voices of the average KNUST student. Enough is enough. We are choosing to advocate for students, and so we have been able to make sure Parajo is free. Those in Konfanochi have cried for long, and so this is their time to smile. Healthcare is free for them. First aid boxes will be installed because we cannot put our health at stake. The career fair will run because we must link ourselves to industry. A Google training program will start very soon to equip students with IT skills, which is a very huge demand on the job market today. Indeed, enough is enough. As an SRC, we stand for you. There will be various times where students will say that the SRC has not really taken a stance to add value to your life. But sit down carefully. Look at all these plans and the various plans we are having. Our SRC week coming up, we are hoping and calling on all students to partake in all events that the SRC will be bringing up. At this moment, I would like to thank you all for your ardent listening, for your support you've given the SRC, for the advice, for the criticisms. For if it were not for your criticisms, we would not be on our toes to ensure that the SRC is in the best of shape. As I stand here before you this evening, concluding my speech, I am very, very much delighted to see smiles on your faces, as I can tell that although we don't have 100% KNUST being very comfortable, we have come very, very far. 5 months has not been an easy journey. The road has been muddy and tough, but as leaders, we have been braced to take up this challenge of fighting and ensuring that student interests are paramount. We remain unwavered in our stance to fight for students. We remain incorruptible. Regardless of what we have to go through, we are committed to ensuring that we put a smile on the average KNUST student's face. We know very well that there are few students out there who still feel the SRC hasn't fought enough for you. But I would like to say that at this point, it's not about blowing of our trumpets. It's not about making of the noise. But it's about knowing deep within ourselves that all the various sectors of students' governance is seeing a good shot in the upward direction. Thank you very much. May God bless KNUST. May God bless Ghana. And may God bless us all. Thank you.
Bless us right. Thank you very much. His Excellency Mr. Kavinsa, Commander-in-Chief of KNUST Cadet. The next item, we'll take a patriotic song by Gamsu Kwa. Before that, the Caucus Near House will take one rep from college MPs. We'll take another rep from hall MPs. Then we'll take another rep from ISA and non-residential MPs and KASAK. Only one rep to speak for 2 minutes. Just comment a suggestion about the state of SRC address. From there, we move on to closing remarks and announcement. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Gamsukwa. Move on to any other business. Remarks from reps of caucuses in Parliament, as is done in National Parliament, whereby majority and minority caucus leaders will speak. So the same thing is being done. Only one rep from each caucus. I start with the non-residential MPs and ISA caucus and Grasa caucus. Honorable Frederick Frimpong from Kote. Remarks.
Mr. Speaker, the House, thank you very much. First, we want to congratulate Professor Mrs. Rita Dixon for being nominated as the new Pro Vice Chancellor, and also congratulate Master Kelvin Sarr for delivering this sumptuous address. Moving forward, we suggest that the free language class be well established and passed on to the next administration, since, one, Ghana is surrounded by Francophone countries, and Chinese is the second most spoken language in the world. So I think the free language class should be well established and passed on to the next administration. Also, concerning the water issues, I think we are all looking at the halls and our colleges having this problem, but I suggest the water problem be looked at Brunei complex, because Brunei is also facing the same challenge. Today I saw, I would say, yellow water coming from their taps, and I think it's very, very appalling. Talking about security and transport, Mr. President, I want to let you know that we, the non-residential caucus and the ISC are holding you to your word concerning the transport and the security, because it's something very important to us, and we're very glad if that problem will be solved. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much, the House.
Thank you very much. Go on to the whole caucus. Whole caucus. Deputy Speaker, Right Honorable, Honorable Derek Niyamu, whole caucus.
Mr. Speaker, good evening.
Honorable Kataba, somebody has appointed to speak. Honorable Derek Niyamu.
Respectfully, Mr. Speaker, the caucus has chosen Honorable Kataba to speak on their behalf.
Okay.
Thank you
Continue.
very much, Mr. Speaker. I would like to talk based on what was given this evening. In as much as we do appreciate the SRC's president's effort in maintaining the students' front, I would like to say there's an old Apache saying that goes like, when you pray for rain, you have to deal with the mud. And there's a lot of mud in the way. And in so doing, well, he's failing on that part. It has come to my attention of dismissals of a few SRC appointees. And I'd like to say that was very wrong and unconstitutional. I mean, based on the constitutional framework where you drive your power from, it is stated that the Judicial Committee is supposed to be in charge of such dismissals or such issues in relation to leave of office. And I'd like to say there should be a judicial review of all those dismissals in the sense that even in these universities, people are not just punished just like that. They are part of the case must be heard. And also, I'd like to say, in regards to the inter-hall activities, I mean, the university hall didn't participate, and that's caused a whole ruckus on the part of the members. But I should say, you are doing a fantastic job, but there is more that is to be desired. I like your smile too, I should say. But in the long run, we the halls, we want a lot of things to be done. You know of the predicament of the University Unity Hall. I would like to thank God that my brother Nazo, who was taken ill for 2 weeks due to his living conditions, is now fine, has joined us. I mean, even though the mosquitoes decided to feast on him, he's okay now. And I would like to say, every student deserves the same welfare package, regardless of wherever they find themselves or regardless of whatever decisions they have made. This is a stepping stone, or this is the stage where we learn leadership qualities. And if we are going to be good leaders, we don't want to be dictators. We have to be treated equally. In that vein, I would say, since you are the official mouthpiece, and when you sit in meetings, please make some of these known. I would like to put it respectfully. I mean, today I've decided to limit my diminutive expletives. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Move on to the college caucus. College MPs. Okay. Honorable Kojo Fidelis.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable. My caucus wants to reiterate the fact that student leadership is not one of rebellion. We want to believe that on any day, there should be common grounds for student administrations and students' associations and the university administrations to be able to reach a particular consensus. It's very sad that sometimes most harsh decisions, which you feel are not in the best interest of students, are forcefully implemented. A typical example is how there is conflicting reasons as to what brought up the consolidation of account. The meeting held on Thursday, the man was very, very confident when he said it was the idea to bring it up. Today we hear you telling us it was something coming from the Ministry of Finance. And sometimes with consultation with some of our friends from other universities, you get to realize that, I don't know if it's in the pipeline in their school, but as it stands now, it is not there as we talk about. We also want to talk about the communication problem, especially with that of academics. The things about ethics, critical thinking was something that was not really communicated well to the various colleges, and it's something we want you to also hold on to. Also, members of my caucus are complaining about how practical fees are very hard to assess especially Kanasa and Kabisa. And also about the fact that there should be a real look at the bridges. That's the wooden structure serving as the cross part over these bridges. Some of them are very weak in that particular aspect too. That notwithstanding, I want to say the SRC have done a very great job. The SRC, which we are all part of, every single student here, it carries the heart and soul of every one of us. We pray and hope that these shouldn't be just mere promises, but staffs the average KNUST student is going to benefit from. Thank you very much, Right Honorable.
Thank you very much. We want to announcement to be done by the Marshal.
Okay, so recession, these are the recession procedures. After the maze of parliament, the clerks, dignitaries, followed by dignitaries, the executive council, parliamentarians, and SRC appointees. After the recess, all students must remain seated for item 13. And on the 13th of October,
Hello, Honorable Member of Kote Constituency. A point of order was raised by you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, the House. Mr. Speaker, the Marshal didn't address the House before starting his announcement whatsoever. So I want him to restart again. Thank you.
Well taken, Marshal of the Parliament, do so.
all right. I'm very sorry for that, Honorable Frimpong. Okay. The Speaker of the House, Right Honorable Benjamin Kisi Sasu. Okay. So I think, let me start everything from the beginning since I flouted rules. All right, thank you. All right. So after the maze of parliament, the clerks, dignitaries, executive council, parliamentarians, SRC appointees, it follows in that order. Okay, thank you. Then all students must remain seated for item 13. Okay. And on Saturday, 30th October, at the CCB auditorium, Tech Talk happens. And confirmed speakers are ex-president Jerry John Rawlings, Nanaba Namoa, and Benjamin Kumbo. So you are all invited. And the time is 2 p.m. prompt. Greenwich Mean Time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Marshal. Closing remarks. I'd like to thank everyone who has made this program a success. And also, to reiterate that in coming office, as the Speaker of the 10th SRC Parliamentary Council, I'm making sure that every bit of the Constitution is being enforced. So last week, upon meeting with the appointees, I made them aware that they'll soon be coming to Parliament to give their report about what they are doing. And the Secretariat, which is NUST, also will do so. It's so hard that for many years, many parts of the Constitution have not been enforced. And doing so, many try to raise a lot of concerns. This is a working Constitution. We also realize that Constitution of the halls and colleges are not in line with the SRC. And we realize with the centralization of accounts and also with the halls accommodation, it was subjected to that of SRC Constitution. So please, let us support the legal commissioner as she will come around to help you to make amendment. And we are in a time that we'll make sure at the end of the 10th SRC Parliamentary Council, things are done very well. I'm also looking at an SRC whereby we'll have various stakeholders to talk about the law student, educated about law issues on campus, the social studies group also doing so. We have the health, also talking about health matters. And we wish the PRO will facilitate that to be done on our Focus FM. It's sad that many a time, people use these avenues to rather put up false truth about administration and SRC. Let us use our time well. It's our time we try to practice what we learn in class. So our lecturers will correct us in speaking publicly about our topics we have been taught. would be nice to have a discussion about we call experts like the law student speaking on that from a legal point of view, getting the health student to speak about it on a health point of view. Also like to thank the media who are up to task. I read them very well. That they should continue to do more research and make sure that issues are sent out. Also like to let students that you could petition Parliament, you should let us make a lot of bills. I've tasked all appointees to look within their functions in the Constitution. If there are no provision that is permit them to do anything, they should let us pass a bill into that. That's why the SRC Parliament exists, and we need to stand and uphold things. Since we started, we have changed what we called time. We have always met our time, and today we realize at exactly 3, we did so. We'll continue with this mandate. We are student leaders and the future leaders of this country. Thank you very much, Gamsukwa, the cultural troop, and for all who have come. I would like to ask the Parliament staff to introduce themselves, starting from the Marshal.
Speaker of the House, Senator Joshua Elom is my name, and I am the Marshal of the 10th SRC Parliamentary Council.
Mr. Speaker of the House, I am Solis Enamjiku, a third-year student of Petroleum Engineering. I am the Clerk of the House.
Mr. Speaker, the Honorable House, I'm Gloria Opoku Boate, third-year Chemical Engineering student, Deputy Clerk.
We'd like to take our closing prayer. Closing prayer. Oh God, grant us a vision of our university, fair as it might be, a university of righteousness, where none shall wrong his neighbor, a university of plenty, where evil and poverty shall be done away with, a university of brotherhood, where all success shall be founded on service, and honor shall be given to the deserving, a university of peace, where the SRC shall rest on the will of the people, and the love for the common good. Bless the effort of those who struggle to make this vision a living reality. Inspire and strengthen our people that they may give time, thought, and sacrifice to speed the day of the coming beauty of KNUST, Ghana, and Africa. Amen. Officially, we ask honorable members to move for the adjournment of this sitting. Honorable Organ from Republic Constituency.
Mr. Speaker of the House, I, Olga Ajo Kwashe, Honorable Member from Republic Hall Constituency, move for the closure of this sitting.
Seconded by Honorable Member from Campus Constituency.
The Speaker of the House, I, Franklin A.J. Kumson, Honorable Member from Campus, second this closure. Thanks.
Thank you very much. We go for recession. Rise.
Mr. Grant. Honorable Grant. Honorable Speaker, Mr. Chung.
Yembo, oh, oh, ejo nyamiye, oye, oye.